Good morning and welcome to Wharton's commencement ceremony for our doctoral graduates. Today is a special day for so many reasons. As we come together to celebrate your monumental achievements, we also recognize this as a pivotal moment in your educational and professional journeys. But before we do any of that, let's not overlook the fact that many of you are sitting here today in large part because of the unwavering support of the many multitude of people, many of whom join us today to celebrate you. So without further ado, let me welcome our guests. Welcome to the parents, partners, families, friends, and loved ones who have traveled to Philadelphia to share in the joy of your achievement. Welcome also to the Wharton faculty and staff who are here today in support of these tremendous students. And most of all, welcome to our amazing Wharton PhD graduates. It is fortuitous that we convene here today to honor this esteemed group, because right now, the world is in need of scholars like you who will challenge conventional ways of thinking and doing. We're living in a time of incredible uncertainty, and we face global challenges at a scale and magnitude we've never seen. We are simultaneously wrestling with the volatile financial markets, geopolitical tensions, the mounting impacts of climate change, and a proliferation of divisiveness and misinformation. At the same time, the world is increasingly looking to the business arena for leadership and answers to our escalating global challenges. As current crises evolve and new issues emerge, Wharton PhDs are uniquely prepared to answer this call. You are the product of the largest business PhD program in the world, and the intellectual heft you will bring to the academy and to the business community is simply unmatched. You are the scholars who will uncover the evidence-based knowledge that is so urgently needed in today's environment of uncertainty and upheaval. But your potential for impact also comes with a duty to discover and disseminate insights in a responsible way. Responsible research isn't just about acting ethically when collecting data. It is also about recognizing contemporary perplexities and the principle that business can and should be leveraged as a force for good. Forward-thinking business scholars like you must consider the impacts of business action on our natural world and the people who inhabit it, and ensure that the people, communities, and societies that are less resource-rich are not left behind. Of course, these are not foreign concepts to any of you, because engaging in responsible, impactful research is a distinctive part of the Wharton PhD experience. It is the essence of what Joseph Wharton's founding vision for this school, which was to prepare leaders for business and public service who would make a positive impact in the world. Yes, your Wharton education has prepared you for a future of scholarly and societal impact. You know how to think analytically and creatively to push the boundaries of your fields of study. You've been exposed to a wide range of ideas and have learned to explore challenges from every possible angle. And you've worked alongside peers and mentors who will continue to support you throughout your career and will become lifelong friends. Your research will inform other scholars. It will influence what is taught to students in colleges and graduate students, and it has the potential to affect economies, communities, and public policy around the world. That is an awesome responsibility, but it's also an invigorating one. As you leave Wharton and pursue new intellectual pursuits, I hope that you bring the values of responsible research with you. I challenge you to take on the subjects and issues that are not typically explored. And I urge you to keep asking and answering the questions that will advance society and lift people up around the world. Congratulations to our doctoral graduates. May you continue to create meaningful knowledge and find success in all you do. Congratulations. Now it is my distinct pleasure to welcome Wharton's Deputy Dean, my friend and colleague, Dean Nancy Rothbard, to the podium.
Good morning. I want to extend a warm welcome to all of our graduates and also to your families and friends who are here with us and watching online. It's been a long journey to get here, and you've been with our graduates every step of the way. So this achievement is shared with all of you. Each year, as I prepare for this day, I can't help but be affected by what's going on in the world around us. What's happening out there usually finds its way in here, and inevitably into my writing. My colleagues say that you can tell what I'm thinking about by the metaphors I use in this graduation speech, which have ranged from Ted Lasso to Homer's The Odyssey, and even a few Taylor Swift songs. But this year, there's no need for a metaphor because what's been on my mind is fundamental. The most basic parts of what makes us human: kindness, compassion, and love. And right now, it feels like we need as much of those as we can get. As you're setting off to start or resume your careers, you're probably wondering why I want to talk about kindness, compassion, and love. Many have argued that there's no such place for these feelings at work, but they're wrong. Let me tell you about Sigal Barsaid. She was a management professor here at Wharton who passed away in 2022, and she was also my best friend. My dear friend and I shared many things in common, including research on how emotions factor into workplace culture. Sigal studied what she termed emotional intelligence at work, and she advocated for a culture of companionate love. Her research showed that when people exhibited care and consideration to their colleagues, even something as simple as getting them a cup of coffee or listening to them complain for a few minutes about their kids, this increased morale, teamwork, engagement, and satisfaction. Similarly, in my research on the work cultures of firefighters, I found that when a fire department had a culture high in good humor and companionate love, the firefighters engaged in less risk-taking behavior outside of work. They had better response times. They got the fire trucks out of the station faster. And they had fewer health problems. So this gets to the heart of a belief that Sigal and I shared. Emotions are contagious. They ripple out from the center like waves in a pond. So the question for us becomes this: how do we make sure that the emotions we choose to radiate out into the world are kind, compassionate, and loving? I think it has to do with staying young. I'm not talking about the physical aspect of youth, but we can choose how we age mentally and emotionally. As an educator, I can tell you all of the lessons I've learned from being surrounded by young people on a college campus, their endless energy, their willingness to try new ideas, their optimism, their desire to do good in the world. But honestly, one of my most important lessons has come from my own children, and it's this: people learn the most from the people they love. When my son and daughter were young, I began to notice that the school subjects that they were the most enthusiastic about were less about the textbook and more about the teacher. The more committed, the more compassionate, the more kind and loving the teacher, the more my children paid attention. It wasn't the explicit lesson in the classroom that hit the mark, but the implicit one. If you think back to your own school days, you'll find a similar story. For me, it was Mrs. Bittner, who taught me English and Latin in high school. A few of us were really into it, and she would give up her lunch period to teach us in her office. To this day, I can still recite the opening of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales in Middle English. Whan that April with its showers sota, the draught of March hath pierced to the rota, and bathed every vein in sweet liquor, of which vertu engendred is the fleur. Why do you think I remember that? Right? It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Because what you learn from the people you love sticks with you. Here at Wharton, you've gotten a world-class education. We've taught you the latest methods and helped you to develop your critical thinking skills. I'm proud of what this institution has to offer, and I'm proud of you for making it to this day. And I hope that in your time here, we've also taught you kindness, compassion, and love. Because competency is critically important, but so is your humanity. As you move through your careers, it's vitally important to connect with people, listen to them, collaborate with them, work together, resolve differences, respect one another, and pay attention. If you maintain a growth mindset throughout your career and throughout your life, you'll always stay young. Staying young means staying open to new ideas, new theories, new methodologies. It means being curious about the world around you and how it's changing. It means having a sense of play, an understanding that failure isn't fatal, and a faith in your own resilience. The artist Pablo Picasso famously said, "It takes a long time to become young." He ought to know. His career spanned 70 years, and during all that time, he never shied away from experimenting with new ideas, new media, or new forms of expression. If you're in this room, it's because you value learning. I don't have to tell you that it takes hard work. Your curiosity compels you to find the answer to a question, which usually leads to more questions. So how do we stay curious? How do we renew our sense of wonder, our desire for discovery? I think my grandfather actually figured it out. He started what became our family business in Philadelphia, selling furniture and office supplies. Being successful in business means learning how to navigate all kinds of situations, and my grandfather was a master at it. It's a skill, he said, that came from being around all kinds of people and embracing them, with their quirks and their idiosyncrasies. He worked until he was 90, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. It kept him young. And if he were here, he would tell you that everyone has something to offer, not in spite of their ages or backgrounds, but because of it. I want you to commit to keeping current and to connecting with others, because that is a gift that leads to motivation. We know it from research. We also know it simply from living. Pablo Picasso knew it, my grandfather knew it, Seagal knew it, and you know it too. Our lives are marked by moments. This is a happy one. Joy at your accomplishments, relief that you've made it here, and anticipation about what comes next. As this celebration comes to a close and you walk out of this hall toward the rest of your life, I want you to think about what you can do to create a culture of kindness, compassion, and love. And remember, it's not a solo undertaking. We can get to a better place, but we have to do it together. Congratulations to you all. And now I'd like to introduce the Vice Dean of our Wharton Doctoral Programs, Nancy Zhang. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy and Erica. And it's so nice to be here with you today. Nancy talked about kindness and compassion. And I've seen so much of that from this group of graduates ever since day one. As you know, our graduates, most of our graduates, I think, came in 2019 and to 2020. In 2020, the university was closed, and our graduates helped each other while in isolation, sharing apartment, helping in dealing with the havoc that was wreaked by COVID. So we really have a very good group here. So I will just have a few remarks before we get to the hooding, right? In a few minutes, we will come to the moment that you have all been waiting for, the conferral of degree and the hooding of our graduates. As we celebrate your accomplishments, we want to also take this occasion to acknowledge those who have helped you along the way. So graduates, please take a moment to look behind you and across the aisle at friends, partners, parents who supported you, and to the mentors who challenged you and guided you. None of us complete this journey alone. So in this year of 2025, many rituals and formalisms have fallen away. We've said goodbye to printed and bound dissertations, as well as to formal thesis defenses in suit and tie. But the hooding ceremony, which you will witness, is a tradition that we cherish, a ritual that has never lost its meaning. The PhD hooding not only recognizes this tremendous milestone that you, our graduates, have reached as a scholar, it is also symbolic of the special relationship between you and your mentors here at Wharton. As you start your careers, in the years to come, you will for sure serve as mentors to younger versions of yourselves. And as the mentors across the aisle can testify, this is a role that comes with an enormous privilege as well as loads of hard work. So as you wait for your turn to walk across the stage, I hope you really take in this moment. This is likely your final degree. The next time, I would bet on that. The next time you come to a graduation, hey, it's likely that you are the one who's hooding, cheering on, or at least cheering on your own students and mentees. As I said, you came into Wharton during COVID in a world that felt very different from what it is today. For many of you, your first year or your second year was entirely remote. Your classmates that are sitting next to you, you might have first met on Zoom. You had to navigate uncertainty, isolation, and the challenge of building a scholarly identity first through the screen. And the world that you're stepping into after this graduation is in many ways no less exciting, no more certain. You'll be facing rapid change and complexity. But if your time here has shown anything, I believe that you are resilient, adaptable, and ready. During my own PhD graduation 20 years ago, I had no idea what lay ahead. I did not know back then that I would be referred to today as Professor of Statistics and Data Science. The reason is data science did not exist as a term. My field evolved, and so did I. So while this may be the last graduation that you attend as a student, I hope that you will continue to be a student, to learn, to grow, and to reinvent yourselves. When each of you come up to get your diplomas, I will be announcing your thesis title for everyone. While that might define you as a scholar today, I hope you simply treat it as a launchpad for your new inquiries tomorrow. But most of all, I hope that the friendships that you have built at Wharton will be the invariant, staying with you and deepening in the decades to come. So before I start announcing our graduates, I just want to repeat the instructions one more time, okay? Graduates, you will carry your hoods over your left arm as you come up the stage. After your name is called, both the graduate and graduate advisors will meet at the center of the stage. Graduates, you will give the hood to your advisors, who will place the hood over your head. And then Nancy and Erica will present with you the certificate, and you will all pose for a photo in the center of the stage. Okay, and then graduates, you and your advisors will exit the stage together. And so let's get started. Our first department is accounting. And from accounting, our first graduate is Alex Coble. Alex's dissertation is titled Public Peers and Private Firm Capital Raising. Alex is advised by Lucy Hale, and Lucy is hooding. Our next graduate is Joseph Moran. Joseph's dissertation is titled Drill Down Data Access Rates and Managerial Target Achievement. Joseph is advised by Chris Idner, and Chris is hooding. Our next graduate is Minji Yu. Minji's dissertation is titled Information Sharing for Validation, Evidence from Social Networks. Minji is advised by Brian Bushy and Paul Fisher, and Brian and Paul will hood. Next, we have the Department of Applied Economics. Our first graduate from Applied Economics is Advait Rajagopal Iyer. And Advait's dissertation's title is Essays on the Economics of Education and Development. Advait's advisor is Santosh Anagol, and Santosh is hooding. Our next graduate is Benjamin Edelstein. Benjamin's dissertation is titled Essays in Urban and Environmental Economics. Benjamin's advisor is Fernando Ferreira, and Fernando is hooding. Our next graduate is Eric James. Eric's dissertation is titled Essays in Public Benefit Program Design and Retail Supply. Eric's advisor is Jesse Hanbury, and Jesse is hooding. Our next graduate is Scott Kim. Scott's dissertation is titled Essays on Economic Development. Scott is advised by Maisie Wong, and Scott is being hooded by Santosh Anagal. Our next graduate is Prakash Mishra. Prakash's dissertation is titled Essays in Environmental Economics. Prakash's advisor is Arthur Van Bentham, and Arthur is hooding. Our next graduate is Jingxian Ying. Jingxian's dissertation is titled Essays in Household Finance. Jingxian's advisor is Benjamin Keys, and Benjamin is hooding. Our next graduate is Andeline Russell. Andeline's dissertation is titled Essays in Experimental and Developmental Economics. Andeline's advisor is Judd Kessler, and Andeline's being hooded by Santosh Anagal. Next, we come to the Department of Ethics and Legal Studies. Our graduate from Ethics and Legal Studies is Olamide Dozier Williams. Ola's dissertation is titled Economic Justice as Derived from the Public Responsibilities of Financial Institutions and Regulators. Ola's advisor is Peter Connie Brown, and I have the privilege of hooding Ola. Next, we come to the Department of Finance. From Finance, our first graduate is Hui Yao Chen. Hui Yao's dissertation is titled Essays on Sustainable Investing. Hui Yao's advisor is Itai Goldstein, and Hui Yao's being hooded by Yao Zheng. Our next graduate from finance is Zhongtian Chen. Zhongtian's dissertation is titled Memory and Beliefs in Financial Markets, a Machine Learning Approach. Zhongtian's advisor is Nikolai Rosanov, and Nikolai is hooding. Our next graduate from finance is Xiaoyong Jack Fu. Jack's dissertation is titled, How Does Active Involvement Benefit Investors? Evidence from 85 billion cell phone signals. Xiaoyong's advisor is Luke Taylor, and Luke is hooding. Our next graduate from finance is Luke Kyung-Rok Min. Luke's dissertation is titled The Currency Carry Trade and Subjective Expectations. Luke's advisor is Nikolai Rosanov, and Nikolai is hooding. Our next graduate is James Perron. James's dissertation title is Essays in Asset Pricing and Macroeconomics. James's advisors are Jules van Binsbergen and Thomas Winbury, and Thomas is hooding. Next, we have the Department of Healthcare Management Economics. Our first graduate from Healthcare Management Economics is Angela Chen. Angela's dissertation is titled Same Procedure, New Place, Incentives, Access, and Outcomes as Surgical Care Moves Out of the Hospital. Angela's advisor is Guy David, and Guy is hooding. Our next graduate is Catherine Ishitani. Catherine's dissertation is titled In Defense of the Middleman, Quality Failures in the Generic Pharmaceutical Market. Catherine's advisor is Alex Olson, and Alex is hooding. Our next graduate is Harriet Jun. Harriet's dissertation is titled Advancing Healthcare Operations, Leveraging Technology and Operational Design. Harriet's advisor is Hami Sung, and Hami is hooding. Our next graduate is Se-Young Kim. Se-Young's dissertation is titled Hoisted by Its Own Petard, Medicare Advantage and the Affordable Care Act's conflicting payment changes. Scion's advisor is Claudio Lucarelli and Eric Roberts, and Claudio and Eric is both hooding. Our next graduate from Healthcare Management and Economics is Susmira Mata. Susmira's dissertation is titled 3 Essays on Healthcare Governance Organizations. Susmira's advisor is Ingrid Nembard, and Ingrid is hooding. Our next graduate is Zachary Templeton. Zachary's dissertation is titled Essays on Physician Consults. Zachary's advisor is Guy David, and Guy is hooding. Next, we come to the Department of Management. From management, our first graduate is Aprajita Agarwal. Aprajita's dissertation is titled Digital Platforms as Institutional Intermediaries, Implications for Inclusion, Relational Dynamics, and Strategic Advantage in Emerging Markets. Aprajita's advisors are Tyler, Rai, and Zeke Hernandez, and Tyler and Zeke are hooding. Our next graduate is Jason Lee. Jason's dissertation is titled Entrepreneurial Learning Under Ambiguous Feedback, Adaptive Responses and Performance Implications. Jason's advisors are Lori Rosenkopf and Dan Leventhal, and Lori and Dan are hooding. Our next graduate is Jacob Levitt. Jacob's dissertation is titled Emotional Accountability, The Consequences of Feeling Responsible for Emotions at Work. Jacob's advisors are Nancy Rothbard and Adam Grant, and Nancy is hooding. Next, we have the Department of Marketing. From marketing, our first graduate is Shannon Duncan. Shannon's dissertation is titled Behavior Tracking Technology and Its Effect on Consumer Well-Being. Shannon's dissertation advisor is Marissa Sheriff, and Marissa is hooding. Our next graduate is Anna Rangao. Anna's dissertation is titled Essays on Information Signaling Strategies and Platforms. Anna's advisors are Pinar Yildirim and Zhenling Jiang, and Anna is being hooded by Jagmohan Rohju. Our next graduate is Ekaterina Goncharova. Ekaterina's dissertation is titled Financial Decisions in Context, How Imagination, Social Influence, and Income Volatilities Shape Choice. Ekaterina's advisors are Wendy De La Rosa and Anna Jenkins, and both Wendy and Anna is hooding. Our next graduate is Enrique Lorino dos Santos. Enrique's dissertation is titled Hawk Processes in Marketing. Enrique's advisors are Peter Fader and Christoph van den Boot, and both Peter and Christoph are hooding. Our next graduate is Siyuan Yin. Siyuan's dissertation is titled The Impact of Categorization on Consumption Behavior. Siyuan's advisor is Marissa Sheriff, and Marissa is hooding. Our next graduate is Yihao Yuan. Yihao's dissertation is titled Essays on Vertical Contracting. Yihao's advisor is Aviv Nevo, and Aviv is hooding. Our next graduate is Hangcheng Zhao. Hangcheng's dissertation is titled Essays on Pricing and Algorithmic Decision Making. Hangcheng's advisor is Ron Berman, and Ron is hooding. Next, we come to the Department of Operations, Information, and Decisions. Our first graduate from OID is Edward Chung. Edward's dissertation is titled Diversity as Impression Management. Edward's advisor is Katie Milkman, and Katie is hooding. Our next graduate is Bella Ren. Bella's dissertation is titled Agreement, Listening, and the Lack of Learning. Bella's advisors are Maurice Schweizer and Rebecca Schomburg. And Maurice is hooding. And next we come to the Department of Statistics and Data Science. From Statistics and Data Science, our first graduate is Abhinav Chakraborty. Abhinav's dissertation is titled Tackling Modern Challenges in Statistics, Integrating Privacy, Distributed Learning, and Data Heterogeneity. Abhinav's advisor is Tony Tsai and is being hooded by Jean Kasovic. Our next graduate from statistics is Anirban Chatterjee. Anirban's dissertation is titled Higher Order Fluctuations and Inference for Motifs and Eigenvalues in Graphon-Based Random Graphs. Anirban's advisor is Bashar Bhattacharya, and Bashar is hooding. Our next graduate is Mauricio Darros Andrade. Mauricio's dissertation is titled Monochromatic Subgraphs in Multiplex Networks. Mauricio's advisor is Bashar Bhattacharya, and Bashar is hooding. Our next graduate is Kai-Shu Mason. Kai-Shu's dissertation is titled Ultra-Scalable Methods for Differential Testing of Spatial Omic Data. Kai-Shu, I'm proud to say, is my mentee, and I will hood. And last, but certainly not least, our graduate, Jeffrey Zhang. Jeffrey's dissertation is titled Sensitivity Analysis Methods for Observational Studies with a Continuous Exposure. Jeffrey's advisor is Dylan Small, and Dylan will hood. So please join me in giving one final round of applause for this tremendous group of graduates. Congratulations. congratulations to our graduates. I know it's a tremendous amount of hard work, a long road to get here. So as our tradition, we would like to invite our graduates to come on stage for a group photo. And after the group photo, don't leave the stage. Okay? I just want to invite everyone to attend brunch with us in Annenberg Plaza outside under the tent. Dean Erica and Deputy Dean Nancy will lead our procession, followed by our new graduate students, and then followed by the faculty. Okay, so please remain in your seats at the audience until the graduation procession has left the theater. Thank you.